Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this cute DIY felt Frodo doll. He's roughly 4.5 inches tall and approximately 2 inches wide. So let's get started. For this project, you will be needing cream felt, dark brown felt, a lighter brown felt or a penny color, a dark green felt, some cream or off-white, brown and black thread, a circle cookie cutter or stencil, 2 black beads for the eyes, a needle, scissors, a pen, some polyfill, and a hot glue gun. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my pattern, just see what all I have to work with here. So first you're going to take your cream or off-white color felt, and you're going to trace out a circle for his head. You will need to cut out 2 of these pieces. Next you're going to take your dark brown felt. We're going to work on his hair. And his hair, you can cut it a little bigger than you might need it, because we'll go back and trim it down later. Next we'll go ahead and do his bangs. So you will need your dark brown felt. We're going to cut out his bang piece. Again, you can cut this piece a little bigger than you might need it, because we will trim it down later when we're done. Next you're going to take your brown felt. We're going to work on his arms. So with the brown felt we will be cutting out the sleeves for his coat. Cut out your arm. Then we'll just cut off some of this up top. You will need 4 of these pieces total. Once that's done, you'll take your cream felt and you're going to cut out his hand. And you will need 4 of these as well. Next we're going to work on his body. You're going to take your brown felt. We're going to cut out his coat first. Once you have the back of his coat done, we'll go ahead and cut out the pieces for the front of his coat. Next, we'll cut out his shirt. So you're going to take your penny or copper color felt, and you're going to draw out his shirt. And you will want to cut his shirt a little big. Next, we're going to do his pants. So you're going to take your dark brown felt, and we're going to trace and cut out his pants. And again, for his pants, you will also want these to be just a little bit bigger. You will need 2 of these pieces. Next, we're going to cut out his feet. So you're going to take your cream felt. We're going to trace out his feet. And you will want 2 of these pieces as well. Now we're going to take his arms, and we're going to go ahead and glue the pieces together. So you're going to lay out your arm pieces, and you're going to lay a hand underneath, and then on top. Underneath, and then on top. And you're going to glue them on just like that. Next, we'll start gluing the body. So you're going to lay out all your pieces. You'll want your shirt on top of your pants, and then your feet underneath the pants. On the other side, you'll want your feet on top of the pants, and your coat behind the pants. So you want it to look just like this. And now we can start gluing. So again, you will glue your shirt to the front of the pants. And then you will glue your feet to the back of the pants. Now for the other side, you will glue your feet to the front of the pants. And then we will glue the coat to the back of the pants. Go ahead and trim off any excess. And when you put the pieces together, it should be a nice, clean finish on both sides. We'll go ahead and start on his head. So what you need to do, you're going to glue your bangs down to the front of his face. You just need a little dollop of glue. Trim off any overhanging bang piece. You can go ahead and glue down the sides so they don't go anywhere while we're stitching it together. Next, you'll put just a little dollop of glue on the back of the head. You'll glue it down to his hair. You will then take a piece of brown thread and we will begin blanket stitching the head pieces together. If you don't know how to blanket stitch, you can click here in the top right of the screen and it will take you to my video where I show you how to blanket stitch step by step. You're going to blanket stitch all the way around to the other side of the brown piece. Alright, I went ahead and blanket stitched all the way around to this side. Now I'm going to take my cream or off-white thread color and I'm going to blanket stitch the face to about halfway and then stop so we can fill it with some polyfill. Okay, so now I'm going to fill it with some polyfill, and for this you really just have to use your own judgment. You don't want it to be too flat, but at the same time you don't want it to be too stiff. Once you have it filled with the fullness you want and you get it blanket stitched all the way around, go ahead and tie it off. And do not cut off your excess thread because we will need this. Before I do anything else, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to go ahead and glue down the rest of his bangs. Once you're done with that, you're going to take your needle and push it in through the side of your face and bring it out right about where you want one of your eyes placed. We're going to go ahead and stitch on his eyes. When you push your needle through, make sure you're not pushing it through his hair. You're going to run your needle, stitch it through your eye about 3 times. You can do it as many times as you want. The more times you do it, the more secure it'll be. But I generally do mine about 3 times and it's normally fine. Once you're done with that, run your needle through the back of the head and you're going to go ahead and stitch on the other eye. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I have my black thread. I'm going to bring the 2 ends together and tie a knot. Normally, if my thread is doubled, I will tie my knot roughly 3 or 4 times. You just want it tight enough, or big enough, so that it doesn't get pulled through your felt. For stitching on the mouth, you can freehand stitch it, or if you would feel more comfortable, you can draw it on there very lightly with pen or pencil, whichever one. Again, you're going to make sure you don't get the hair in the way. You're just going to stitch on the mouth. I'm going to put some hot glue on the back of my thread just to make sure it's really secure. And you can begin stitching on his mouth. When you get it completely stitched on, you're going to want to go back over it again, just so it's more noticeable. Okay, so my head is done for now. My hair is a little off-centered. I'll trim it up and fix it whenever I attach it to the body. What we're going to do now, we're going to stitch together his arms. So you're going to take your brown thread, you're going to blanket stitch all the way up to his hand. When you get all the way up to his hand, you're going to open up the arm. You're going to push your needle in through the side and bring your needle out through the other side. Now you can take your cream or off-white color thread. You're going to stitch up his hand. When you get to the end of the hand, you can go ahead and tie it off and cut off your excess thread. And then we will continue stitching with the brown thread all the way up to the top of the arm. I'm going to go ahead and fill my arm with my polyfill. And again, you can use your judgment on this. You don't want it to be too stiff, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too flat. Just fill it as much as you think is necessary. Once you're done filling it, you can go ahead and continue to stitch all the way across to the other side, where you will then tie it off and cut off your excess thread. Once you have completed this arm, you will want to go ahead and do the exact same thing to your other arm. We're now going to work on the body. So go ahead and take your small coat pieces and you're going to put a little bit of glue at the top and bottom of both sides. Now we're going to start stitching, so you can take your brown thread and you're going to stitch all the way down to where the pants meet the feet. Now go ahead and open up your body, push your needle in through the side. You're going to run it underneath just a little bit of the felt, make sure you can't see it in the front. And this is just so that our thread does not get in the way when we're trying to fill it. Now you can take your cream or off-white thread and you're going to stitch up the legs all the way to the other side. Okay, so I've made it to the other side of my feet. Now I'm going to tie off my thread. And do not cut off your excess because you will need that. Now you can take your brown thread and continue stitching up the other side of the body all the way up to the top. Just try to be careful of your remainder of your cream thread. Make sure you don't start stitching that. Alright, I've stitched up my body. Now before I fill it, I'm going to go ahead and glue down both sides of the front part of the coat. Once you glue those down, you can go ahead and fill up the body, again using your own judgment. Once it's filled as full as you would like, you can continue stitching to the other side, where you will tie off your thread and do not cut off the excess yet. Once you're done with that, you can take your off-white color thread and you will push your needle in through the side of the legs. We're going to define his feet. So you can go ahead and stitch all the way up and back down the legs as many times as you would like. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and push your needle in through a small section of felt in the back. Go ahead and tie it off and cut off your excess thread. Once you're done with that, you can take your brown thread, you're going to push it in through the side of the coat and bring it down a little less than halfway on the pants. And you're going to just do the exact same thing you already did with the legs. Do it as many times as you would like. Once you've got it the way you would like it, you can run your needle through the back part of your pants. Go ahead and tie it off and cut off your excess thread. Next, we're going to go ahead and attach the head to the body. So get it positioned right about where you would like it. Go ahead and put quite a bit of hot glue at the top of the body and stick the head down to the top of your body. Make sure your hair does not get hot glued down. You might have to hold it on there for a little bit to make sure it's nice and stuck. Now I'm just going to even up my hair. So I'm just going to trace out where I want to cut it and then go ahead and cut it out just so it's nice and even all the way across. Next, we're going to add the arms. So you can position your arms about where you want them, and then you can either hot glue them on or stitch them on. I've done them both ways and they both work great, but for now I'm just going to hot glue mine on. So I've got my arms added here. We're almost done. You're going to take your dark green felt, you're going to cut out an approximate cape shape. We will have to make probably quite a few adjustments. So you can cut it kind of big, and we'll shrink it down if we need to. Once you get that cut out, you're going to fit it onto your doll. If it doesn't fit right, you might have to make quite a few adjustments. I'm going to make my adjustments and I'll be back in just a sec. So I had to make a pretty good number of adjustments to my cape. Now that it's the size I want, I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue on the left side first and stick it down to right underneath his neck. Then I'm going to put some on the right side. Go ahead and stick that over top of the left. And my cape is a little uneven, so I'm going to fix that up. If you need to trim it a little bit after you get it glued on, you can. And I'm just going to run some hot glue down my back and stick the cape down so it's nice and secure. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue on the back of my hair. Go ahead and stick this down as well. Now the last thing I'm going to do is cut out this small dark green circle, and I'm going to position it about where I want it. I'm just going to stick it down. It'll kind of be like the little snap that he uses to secure his cape around his neck. Once you get done with that, you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any requests for future videos, please comment down below and I'll do my best to make it. Please also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.